Hi, my name is Paige Ballas, and I am the volunteer coordinator for the Meals on Wheels program with Senior Services. Thanks for joining me today online for this presentation. Normally, we would do our training sessions in person, but since we can't be together right now, I'm going to walk you through our presentation. And if you'll notice on the last slide, all of my contact information is provided. So if you have any questions after this presentation, feel free to reach out to me and I'll help you out as much as I can. Also, there is a copy of the PowerPoint online if you would like to go back and reference this at any time. Okay, so let's get started. In this presentation, we'll provide a program overview and talk about the safety measures we have in place to ensure contactless delivery, meal pickup procedures, route sheets, delivery procedures, and what to do with non-deliveries and extra meals, and how to finish your route. Program participants are usually 60 years of age or older, homebound, and have difficulty preparing meals for themselves. Each participant receives a home visit while they are being assessed for eligibility. While staff are doing home visits, they are also assessing the home to make sure it is safe for our volunteers. It is important for you to know how vital volunteers are to the success of Meals on Wheels. While the goal of Meals on Wheels, first and foremost, is to provide a hot meal to homebound seniors, your visit does so much more than that. Your interactions with participants ensures their safety and brightens their day. Many of our participants live alone and do not have regular visitors, so they really look forward to their contact with you during deliveries. Your contact with them is also a way of ensuring that they are safe that day, as we follow up with a well-checked phone call to any participant that volunteers cannot reach during their route. Now let's discuss some program logistics. When you sign up to volunteer, I will contact you, and together we will decide what routes and with what frequency you want to deliver. You will then be entered into the MOS scheduler system. The system will send out automatic alerts via email or text by 9 a.m. the day prior to your route. So you will always have a notification of what route you have coming up. Please do not respond to these text or email alerts, as we will not receive that information. If you need to get a message to me, either call or email me directly. An additional feature of our system is the Help Wanted site. Occasionally, we may have a route that needs a sub, and if you have some free time and would like to fill in, you can access this system to see what is available. After you submit the request to fill an open route, I will receive a notification, and I must approve you for the route before it will be assigned to you. While most requests will be approved, there may be an occasion when you receive a non-approval. In that situation, it's mostly likely that 2 people have sent in requests for the routes before I could approve the first one. So you'll receive a notification either way, and you'll also receive that text or email reminder that we just talked about, just like you would with your regular route if you are doing the substitute route. Now that you have your route, let's talk about some general timing for your delivery day. Pickup is between 9:45 and noon. If you know you will be picking up after 11 a.m., we ask that you let us know. Now, if you've made prior arrangements and always plan to pick up after 11, you don't need to contact us. This is just for those situations where you may be running late. Our program requires that all meals are delivered by 1:30, and we are audited monthly to make sure that we are in compliance with this. So delivery times can vary from route to route and where your route is located within the county, and it really depends on the size of the route and the location, but most routes take between 1 and 1.5 hours to complete. So please allow yourself at least that much time. Also, please try to give us as much notice as possible if you need to cancel a route. We understand emergencies happen, but the more notice you give us, the better chance we have to find a sub for your route. We ask that prior to coming to deliver, you follow certain safety measures. This is to ensure the safety of other volunteers, staff, participants, and yourself. Anyone who has been diagnosed with COVID-19, is showing symptoms, or may have been exposed should not volunteer. Please use the following screening questions to help make your decision. If you've been diagnosed with COVID-19, or if you have fever, chills, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, a new cough, or new loss of taste or smell, you should not volunteer. If you have been in close contact with someone diagnosed with COVID-19, please do not volunteer until 14 days after the last contact with that individual and assuming you have no symptoms yourself. So once you've completed your safety screening checklist, you're ready to pick up your meals. The Meals on Wheels entrance is at the back of the Senior Services building at 2895 Shore Fair Drive. There are signs to direct you to our entrance. As you pull under the portico, please use the 2 outer lanes for parking and loading. The middle lane is reserved for exiting, especially if you come at a busy time. Please use hand sanitizer before you enter the building. And as you enter the building, you will find rolling carts have been sanitized for your use. Collect one of those and proceed to the station that is marked with your route name. There you will find your route sheet and 2 coolers. One cooler will be pre-filled with cold items that you will have for your route that day, and the other cooler will be used for the hot items that you will be collecting from our warming ovens. It is very important to make sure that you have the correct number and types of beverages, meals, and any special meals before you leave the building. Please also make sure you have door tags, masks, plastic bags for each drop-off, and hand sanitizer before you leave. Now, while we are still in the pandemic, we will limit the number of volunteers in the pickup room at one time. There will be a staff member positioned by the entrance to monitor the number of people in the room. Hand sanitizing stations will be available before you enter the pickup room, and carts will be sanitized between pickups. We do have some deliveries that go from satellite locations. There are around 10 of them in the Winston-Salem community, mostly in Kernersville, Clemens, or in some of the apartment buildings. If you happen to be picking up from a satellite location, I'll review those procedures with you individually because they are different than picking up from Senior Services. So the day's menu is always posted on a dry erase board inside the pickup room. You'll know exactly what's included in the meal you're delivering that day. So let me mention a few notes about those menu items. Participants may opt to receive a milk, juice, or no beverage with their meal. Their individual preferences will be marked on the route sheet by their name. Individuals will be listed on the route sheet as requiring a diabetic or a regular meal. Now note, all of our meals are diabetic friendly, so participants will receive the same meal regardless of their designation. Now, one exception to this is if a participant is marked for a renal meal. Those are different, and those participants will be highlighted in green as seen on the slide. It's very important to make sure that you have the designated renal meals before you leave for your route, because we can't switch those out for another meal on that route. And these will be listed as renal. As previously mentioned, participants can opt to have milk, juice, or no beverage served with their meal. Now, occasionally, you may see orange juice, pineapple juice, or grapefruit juice listed on the day's menu. In that case, the juice is considered a fruit side for the day. So participants should get their regular beverage selection in addition to the fruit juice side. Now, this is probably the most confusing part of meal delivery, and many volunteers have accidentally returned with extra juices, having only given one to a person when they should have received one as a beverage and another as a side. If this happens to you, it is okay. After you've confirmed your order is correct, take a few minutes to look over your route sheet and note anyone that may not be receiving a meal today. If we've heard from a participant at least 24 hours in advance, we should have canceled their order, and there should be a red block by their name that says no meal today. You will not have a meal for this person in your order. In the example shown, Leroy Nelson will not get a meal today. If the participant calls in the day of to let us know they do not want their meal, we will handwrite no meal today on the route sheet. Now, in this case, we would not have had time to cancel their order, so the meal will still be included in your order for the day. Please give this meal to another participant on your route that is approved for an extra meal, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Very rarely, you may receive a call from us about a meal cancellation while you're already out delivering. In this case, follow the same procedures and give the extra meal to another qualified person on the route. These are some safety protocols that Senior Services has put into place to ensure the safety of all of our volunteers, participants, and staff. Please note you must wear a mask as you pick up, deliver, and return your route. Masks can be provided if needed. We ask that you use hand sanitizer between stops. We have bottles available for your use during the route, and as we have a limited supply, we would ask that you please return these so we can sanitize them and reuse them. Also, make sure that you have your door tags and plastic bags before you leave our offices, because you'll be using these to place the meal inside and either hang it on the doorknob or place in a chair outside the participant's door. Please knock, ring the doorbell, or call the participant to let them know you're there. Then step back and watch while they retrieve the bag. Do not leave a meal outside if you cannot get a participant to answer the door. We'll talk about what to do with that meal on the next slide. So if no one answers the door, this is what we call a non-delivery. First of all, check your route sheet for any special instructions that we may have added for this specific participant. Some examples could be knock loudly and give them extra time to get to the door, or participant request you use the side door next to the garage. This may help you get the person to answer the door. If there's still no answer, you may want to call the phone number that is provided on the route sheet to try to reach that person. If you still cannot make contact, we ask that you leave a door tag on their door to indicate that you attempted the delivery, and make sure you remember to write non-delivery on the route sheet next to their name. Now, when you return your route sheet to us, a staff member will give them a call just to make sure they're doing okay that day. If we are not successful in reaching them, we will then reach out to their emergency contact. So what do you do with the extra meal if someone's not at home? If you have a non-delivery, you may give the extra meal away to another participant that is marked as approved for extra meal. You can see from the example what the approval notation looks like. So in this example, Evelina Claiborne could receive an extra meal if you had a non-delivery. Please let us know who received the extra meal by writing extra meal beside their name on the route sheet. Once you've completed your route, there are a few housekeeping items to attend to. First, record the time you finished your route on the route sheet. Now note, make sure that you actually list the time of your last delivery and not the time you return to Senior Services. As I mentioned before, we do get audited to make sure that all deliveries are finished by 1:30. And for example, if your route is a little further out in the county, it may take you a little longer to get back. So we want to make sure that the time noted is the last delivery, not your return time. Secondly, make sure that you sign and date your route sheet. And third, please return the route sheet, your coolers, hand sanitizer, any extra door hangers, etc. that you may have back to Senior Services, unless of course you're from a satellite location. In that case, you would return your items to that location. Finally, what should you do in case of an emergency? If the participant seems agitated, seriously ill, mentions a fall or other injury, or if there is a home maintenance or other safety issue, please call us to report the situation. If there is a medical emergency, call our office and we will call 911. However, if the person is bleeding or unresponsive, you may call 911 before calling us. If you're able to stay with the participant until help arrives, please do so. So now you're ready to start delivering Meals on Wheels. I know there's a lot of information covered in that presentation, and as I said, it will be posted online so you can review it at your convenience. And again, my information will be included so you can contact me at any time that you have any questions about our program. Let me give you that information now. Here you can see my email and my direct phone line. Again, contact me if you have any questions. We thank you for taking your time to attend this online training session, and we look forward to meeting and working with you soon.